Welcome to the Talk with Clads podcast. Your host is Katie Ann, an island girl on a journey with her guests to learn about their backgrounds, businesses, passions, experiences, life lessons, and wins. Come and laugh, cheer, learn, and plan with us. My friend, take some time to come and talk with Clads.
Hello world, welcome to Talk with Clads. My name is Katie Ann and I'll be your host for today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I have a very special guest in the house. Acronym LJP. And he, well, do you need an introduction? You think so? I think
Sure.
so, because some of the audience member is mean. They're like, LJP, who's that deep voice? Well, we have a brilliant young man in the house, and his name is Logan Pinard. So Logan, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
All right, Logan. So I'm going to jump right in it. So just a quick introduction about yourself without, not revealing personal details because, you're underage and there's a bunch of crazies in the world. So keep it brief and vague. I'm Logan. I'm 13.
I'm Logan. I'm 13. I'm currently in 8th grade. And that's it.
What do you like to do for fun?
I don't know.
All right. You don't know what you like to do for fun? How about TikTok?
Oh, yeah. I like scrolling on TikTok, playing Roblox.
I know, because I heard Cam asking you the other day, are you going to post content, Logan? and he repeated it, and I was shocked because I'm like, what? What does he mean by if Logan's posting content? So I guess it's just a whole generational thing that the 5-year-old is asking the 13-year-old if he's posting content. So clearly he has seen you post content.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to, because you're so young, but you're also very vocal, talk to you because we're going to have a mental health specialist. And I wanted to hear your, from the eyes of what do you call yourself? Like a tween?
Yeah.
From the eyes of a tween. The outlook of a tween, I should say, and who speaks to many other tweens. Because you seem to be very popular. When you hear the word mental health, what do you think about, how do you feel about mental health? How do you define mental health?
I think mental health is, I guess, how you're doing mentally, which is kind of, I don't know what to say. But it's how you're doing more in the head than you are physically.
Mm-hmm. So emotional?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you and your friends talk about mental health issues?
It's definitely something that we talk about often.
So how do you feel when you have to talk about it? What are some things that you bring the listeners through your headspace? Let's sit at the table with you and your friends talking about mental health. What are some of the things that you talk about?
When we talk about mental health, we talk about things that can come with if you have a bad mental health, like depression and anxiety.
Okay. That's interesting. So what makes you guys, because a 13-year-old, you're thinking, oh my God, what are they worrying about? It's just living life, playing games, eating, and whatever. So what brings you to that space to go, okay, even to mention that word depression? As his phone goes off.
Oh, it's Daddy.
Do you want to take a break so you can speak to your dad? Oh my God, I can't believe I have to go on a commercial break because of Logan. We'll go right to a commercial break right now.
Do you want to provide a memorable experience at your event? Book Pin Bounce at 561-727-5488.
Pin Bounce offers bounce houses, cotton candy machines, tables, chairs, and other event services in Palm Beach County, Florida. We offer all you need in one place. Follow us on social media using @PinBounce, and to book your event, call us at 561-727-5488. Remember, we put the P in party with the Pin Bounce touch.
Go Pin Bounce!
Clad's Resources and Consulting values its customers. Our planner Footsteps to My Vision is a 13-month planner that can be used for 5 years. It walks you through SMART goals, SWOT analysis, action planning, and holds you accountable through 3 monthly check-ins. We work only with top quality materials, innovative designs, and verified suppliers, which are guaranteed to deliver to our high expectations, because when it comes to our customer satisfaction, there's no room for compromise. Made with high-quality PU leather and paper planner helps you focus on achieving your goals by giving you a sense of personal and professional satisfaction. Some of the amazing features of this product: Vision Board Planner, Luxury Pen, 8GB USB flash drive, wireless mouse, ultra elegant packaging box, available in 5 stunning colors: black, red, gold, pink, navy blue. Material: PU leather. 13-month planner. Elastic band for easy handling. Our Footsteps to My Vision is available at Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, our website, and at Walmart. You may also follow us at www.cladsresources.com, Instagram, Clads Resources, Facebook, www.facebook.com/cladsresources/.
You're listening to Talk with Clads. Find more resources online at cladsresources.com. Now back to the show with your host, Katie Ann.
So we are back from our commercial because Logan had to take a phone call. He's that booked and busy. So let's get back to the space where you're with your friends and you're having that discussion of depression or different, identifying different signs of mental health. So walk us through that journey with you.
So the way the conversation comes up is, so at the back of our ID cards, it says a bunch of numbers you can call if you're ever dealing with issues. So whenever we look at those, we just start coming on like how depression could happen and how, you can deal with it.
So then the school, because you're talking about your school ID
Yes.
card. Okay, and so that's how that discussion is initiated. So have you ever been around or have you felt that there's someone around you that's going through depression?
Yeah, I had this one friend whose dad died last year, so they were definitely going through it.
Did they have mental health services? Like,
Yeah, they got a therapist, and they're just leaving school early to go see them, but they did have a lot of friends who were there to support them.
oh, that's a tough one. That's definite. So you've had that firsthand experience with mental health. So what about your family? Do you feel like your family is afraid to talk about mental health, or is it something that's spoken about in the household?
I wouldn't say that we talk about it often, but it comes up, I guess.
You guess. So would you want those conversations to happen more often in your family?
Sure.
Ah, that's interesting. So the next time you get a phone call during or podcast, these are things that you should address. So do you feel like pressured to respond to issues of mental health? Like, do you know how to respond? I shouldn't say use the word pressured, but do you know to, what's the word I'm trying to look at? Do you know how to identify mental health issues? You're not an expert, but as a non-expert.
I mean, I guess if you see a change in behavior, like they're not really acting the way they normally do, then I'd say that's a pretty good sign of depression.
Okay, and if one of your friends, you had the one of your friends for your friends, and you were there to support them, and one of the reasons why it's so important actually to speak about mental health nowadays is these, you're seeing more so school shootings, and a lot of times the things that are happening, why it's happening is what? It's because of mental health.
Yeah.
You have someone that's unhappy with how they were treated, whether it was their school or not. Sometimes, a lot of times it is. Not if it's like the one that happened in Texas was just, oh my God, because he didn't go to that school. But some of the incidents, they return back to the school, and there's a shooting. It's the same sometimes in a workplace. Someone's fired, they come back, and you have those, and those are unfortunately worst case scenarios, but they still do happen. So is this something that do you get when, is this something that's addressed in your school, how to react to these situations, how to identify, what do you do when, not necessarily when you have a school shooting, but to kind of be proactive in responding to it so it does not happen?
We do, I wouldn't say we talk about it often, but we do have a bunch of drills all the time. We have fire drills, tornado drills, code red drills, and code yellow drills.
Oh yeah. So do they actually talk about, like, if someone's saying they're gonna do this and what may lead to it, or they're just going through the drills but not explaining why they're having the drills?
They explain why they're having the drills, like they say what the reasons are.
Right.
So, like, for example, a code red, that would be, like, dangerous person on the school. You have to, like, lock the doors, shut the windows, close the lights, and just hide in a corner of the room and probably block the door, too. And then for code yellows, that could just mean, like, there's a warning, there might be something going on outside of the school, and you have to just, it's limited movement, you're not allowed to really leave the classroom. Then tornadoes more weather related.
Yeah, it's like Mother Nature. Yeah, so they're not necessarily addressing what leads up to it. They're just telling you how to react to it. Yeah. And I made the joke earlier about, like, you're a teenager and why would, about mental health, but that's actually not the case. Mental health sometimes it's biological, and in some communities, they're so afraid to speak about it. But teenagers, they do have issues with health. Mental health is important throughout your entire life. During the teenage years, there are a lot of changes happening in every aspect of that teenager's life. So they're now in the decision-making process where they now have to think seriously about school, their future, dealing with different relationships, navigating those relationships with their family and friends, and people that, not necessarily friends, but who they may be exposed to outside of school. So all these factors can become stressful and bring difficult feelings. So mental health the importance of mental health, to have a good, balanced mental health, is important in all stages of life. So don't think because you have a teenager that it won't happen. Because I see, like, you're looking up schools, right? You're navigating, you're seeing, like, what, if you're looking at one thing that bothers you the most now concerning your future, what would you say that is?
Concerning my future, like, when I'm looking at schools.
But in general, like, your big life ahead. Do you have any concerns
About my future?
Yeah.
Not that much.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Great job. So that's good, because one of the things is when someone has, and I'm glad that you have that healthy balance, because when someone does not have that balance, and they have problem with mental health, it could impact how they handle stress, relationships with their families and friends, and the decisions that they make. And having problems with mental health doesn't necessarily indicate that there is a mental illness. But it's also important to look at for the warning signs, so it's not overlooked and ignored. So mental illness, a lot of times has to be, for someone to say, oh, I'm focusing on my mental health. That just means, okay, my emotional stability, I just want everything to be somewhat balanced. Mental illness, when I think of mental illness, I'm thinking of a diagnosis. So, and then when we have the expert on, because I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in that area, they can kind of do a deep dive more into, those issues and all aspects of life, teenage, the workforce, and so forth. Because with mental illness, if you're diagnosed or undiagnosed and you go without treatment, that could be very, very dangerous for that person. Teenagers experience many different factors that can impact their mental health. These factors could include social media, because they're always on it. And that's becoming a larger aspect. The pandemic, they were home for a year. They were doing school online. They didn't have that interaction, self-esteem issues, family problems. And so while they may have, some things as mental health disorders, it's not necessarily something that's permanent. So whatever stress and pressure they may feel may not be something that's going to be forever, but you have to know how to treat it and how to address those issues. What do you say about that, Logan?
I think that's completely true.
Yeah. On social media, a lot of times, like you see you feel like you need to fall into those types of trends and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm. When you see things online, you just feel the need to follow it, and I just get involved and fit in, I suppose. But I think that's it.
Yeah, but are you a fit in type of person?
No.
I didn't think so. I did not think so. But, it's good to be equipped with the right tools and knowing how to speak about it with your friends and for even yourself, because I would like to say maybe in even family history, there may be signs of mental health or a history of mental health. So having that, knowing the history and knowing how to address it will be beneficial to you in the future. Right? What do you think about that? Like knowing, what part do you think that family history plays?
Yeah, well, I think that certain mental illnesses can get passed on from parent to child over generations. So maybe if you look into your family history, you'll see that there may be some signs of mental illnesses, and you could see if that might have to do with something with you.
Yeah. And, don't be afraid to speak about it in the household. I think in a lot of communities, a lot of households, it's a taboo subject. Like no one wants to speak about it, but it's not something, and I should say mental illness for this one, right? I think I should be more specific, because a lot of times we see if someone suffers from a form of mental illness, it's something that's hidden. We don't want to speak about it. It's, oh my God, not my perfect family. And sometimes we're just not educated to speak about it. How many times do you see or hear grandma speak about mental health?
Not at all.
And how many times do you hear your great grandmother speak about mental health?
Not all.
Not at all, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure there is. If we look back from generation to generation, I am sure we will find mental illness, but it's just not something that's spoken about, right? Yeah. And we don't even talk about mental health and having that balance. And so as you're what, a Gen Z?
Yeah.
That Gen Z group who's like, oh, it's about me, life, the world, my voice matters. Knowing how to navigate and just actually having those conversations with the different generations would be very, very, very beneficial to you. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah. That was a leading question, but,
Oh.
Right? It really was a leading question. I literally gave you the answer and then you just answered it. But you know what? We're on the same page. So any further thoughts about mental health that you'd like to speak on from your viewpoint? Things that you'd like to see done in the future, addressing it, and be it family life, school. You don't have a work life.
No, other than I feel it should be talked about way more in the house. I don't think I have anything else to say.
That's a good one, and that's something that we will talk about more so going forward. Well, any special plans coming up for you, sir?
No.
No? Just living your life day by day?
Yeah.
Well, but I guess that's why you're not stressed. You're living your best life, booked and busy. You're always busy. So, well, this was a short podcast. We just wanted to just kind of do a quick check-in. Hopefully you are checking in on your mental health. And I did this just because I know I'm having someone who is a mental health expert on. I'm so excited. I think this is going to be one of my favorite podcasts because we have to deal with so many different personalities. And for me, especially as a consultant, I have to deal with so many different personalities and knowing how to navigate them. And even when conflict resolution, knowing how to navigate these personalities. And if someone has mental health issues and you can't identify it, that could be something that it sets you up for failure. So knowing how to deal with those different types of personalities and navigating, and also being a resource for someone if you're able to. So I am excited to have that expert on and share her knowledge. I'm sure she's excited to share her knowledge with my listeners. Well, thank you, Mr. Logan, for doing this quick podcast with us.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. And should we expect you on? Will you be a guest host on upcoming podcasts?
Yes, I will.
Yes, I am very excited to share some of the interviews that you'll be hosting too. And speaking to business owners, so that's going to be a Gen Z doing the different interviews. That's going to be cool. That's going to be really, really cool. So thank you guys for joining us and taking some time to talk with Clads. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Find us on social media at Clads Resources and online at www.cladsresources.com. Our planner, Footsteps to My Vision, is also located on our website or on Facebook, Instagram, or Amazon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, keep creating your footpath to your vision.